Hello everyone from Schwann Buick GMC. My name is Marshall Becker. I am the internet manager here for the dealership, and I just wanted to I know it's been a couple weeks, but to continue on with our Truck Tuesday here. So we've already covered the SLE and the elevation trim, and now we are kind of working our way up for features, and now we have the SLTs. And unlike the last couple videos where I've only highlighted one pickup, you can see I have two of them here. And that is because SLT is going to be our most commonly sold trim level, and it has probably the largest variation of packages and different things you can add. So on my right here, the blue one is a max trailering with the 6.2 and a standard box, so that is the larger of them. And then on the left is a white, kind of more standard features of an SLT with the short box. So let me just take a quick look. We'll of course start with the white one here, and I'll show you kind of where they can jump from the different ranges. So starting with SLT, that is the first trim level that you will be getting leather in. You can see you're going to get a lot more chrome, so you get that nice chrome bumper, chrome grille inserts, chrome mirror caps. This standard on this one is going to be the 5.3, and that is paired to the 8-speed transmission, which was in the previous generation what the 6.2 was paired with. So this transmission has plenty of strength to handle what that 5.3 V8 is putting on it. You can see this one does also have the chrome running boards and those nice SLT rims. Not sure if I pointed it out in the last ones, and it is covered up at the moment, but underneath this cap, something nice they've done with this generation Sierra is that where is going to be where your plug-in for your engine block heater is. So no longer do you have to have a plug hanging out the front grille. During the summer, just put that cover to protect it. During the winter, you can pop that off, and it's just a circular port, which I'll show you the cable inside that can just plug in, and it actually has some length to it. So in the past, if you've needed an extension cord, you don't necessarily need that anymore unless you're parking a good deal away from that plug-in. So also a nice thing about this generation is you will see whatever engine is in it is going to be placarded on the side. Your 5.3 is going to be kind of this all silver color. We'll see on the 6.2 it is going to be a red color. I'm not sure which color the diesel when it comes out is going to be, and I haven't seen any of our 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder options. We generally don't order those unless specifically asked for, so I haven't personally seen what those are. You will see this one does also have the X31 package on it. That is important if you have the 5.3, because the X31 is what gives you that dual speed transfer case. So if 4 low is important to you, you are going to want to make sure that X31 is on there, as well as that will also be important if you plan on flat towing this behind like an RV or a camper or something like that. If you want to be able to tow this pickup on all 4 wheels, you will need that dual speed transfer case in order to do that. SLT in the 1500s is also where you can get that multi-pro tailgate. So I am sure you've seen plenty of the commercials that GMC has put out. This tailgate is absolutely fantastic with 6 different functions where you can just drop the top part and you have a workstation. So if you have a laptop, or for those fishermen, if you're cleaning fish, or deer hunters, you're loading guns or different things like that, you can do that. For those people who have power tools for the construction, so whether it's a laptop or a saw or a drill, right down there you will see there is a standard 110 outlet, and then right above that on both sides, let's see if I can see, and with the way the shadow is, you have the 2 lights that they have moved from the past generation, which were under the bed rails, to down here, so you could project and highlight that whole bed. Another nice thing about this, and I'm sure I've mentioned this, they were able to push the sides of the bed out quite a bit, so even our short box has more cubic storage space than some of our competitors. You'll also notice those ridges there. They are designed so you can put like a 2x4 or something and basically create 2 different levels in the bed. That does line up with this tailgate here. which the reason that is here's another feature of that. You can get the load stop with just the top tailgate up. Of course, going from there, you can then drop the tailgate like your standard tailgate. You're going to notice then from here, you can use that once again as a load stop. So kind of nice. One of the biggest complaints, a lot of people really like the short box because they're easier around town. But the complaint is then the box, you can't even fit, a standard 4x8 sheet of plywood or something like that. Well, now with this load stop, you can have the short bed for the convenience of around town, but if you are using the pickup to haul lumber or something like that, drop it down, pull up that load stop, and you have the standard box length. The other nice thing about it is you can drop this portion here, and without dropping that for the step, well, now you got just a couple inches closer. So if you're loading heavy bags of concrete or other things that are a little bit more awkward, you can get a little bit closer to the box without having to bend over as much. That load stop then, of course, drops down into the step, and you do have the handrail if you want that extra security, but you can just basically walk right up. You can see that step does have a 375-pound rating on it, so it will be more than enough to handle your weight, plus if you're carrying a box or something up. So and the other nice thing about this is for those people who have dirt bikes or things like that they're loading, you get that ramp, you get a little bit less of a steep angle, plus as you're pushing that up the ramp, you can just walk right up with that. So a lot of the focus on these pickups were definitely the pickup capabilities. So something in the past generation that people absolutely loved was the corner step bumper. And one of the complaints was it wasn't deep enough for those people who had steel toes or work boots. So they, of course, did make it quite a bit deeper. And with that, that is also the location, if your pickup does have side blind zone alert on it, that is where that sensor is going to be too. So something really nice about that. Your X31 does also give you the dual exhaust. I will mention that. If it did not have the X31 package on it, you would just see a single exhaust. Easy way to tell if it's a short box or the long box is kind of where the fuel cap is located. I'll show you as we walk around the blue one. You can see there will be quite a bit more space between that cap and the fender on that one. Much like the SLE that I covered, you get a lot more cabin space with this new generation. I am 6'3", and if I set this driver's seat to where I would have it for driving and then jump back here, I would still have some room between my knees in the front, which is really nice. On top of that, one of the major improvements is I do actually have vents back here, so an HVAC system for the rear passengers. So you're not completely dependent on both the driver and the passenger for picking a temperature, and either the driver and passenger freezing so you can get air conditioning in the summertime, or they aren't baking alive so you aren't freezing in the wintertime. You will also see there's heated outboard seats, as well as a couple different variation of USB plugins to charge your phone. So you have your USB Type-C, which is the new standard kind of going forward, your standard USB, and then you do have a 12 volt there as well. Some other nice storage features of these is you do have the in-back storage, and then underneath you do get a smaller storage. You can, of course, jump to the aftermarket underseat, which does have a couple other features there that are really nice. But even this is nice to keep, like your tire stand, your tire jack information, or like jumper cables or different things like that. That would be like your winter survival kit. Power sliding rear window. And then you can get a sunroof as well if you'd like, but this one does not have that. We'll kind of jump over some of the more interior features as we jump over to the Max trailering package. And let me state, you do not have to get the Max trailering to get the 6.2 and an SLT. That you can simply get that on your standard SLT without going with that lower end gear and the stiffer shocks. But jumping about the 6.2, you already have the dual exhaust, you already have the 2-speed transfer case. That's all stuff that comes with getting that 6.2, as well as you do jump up to a 10-speed transmission. So that is it is a really smooth shifting transmission. I've driven it a couple times, and unless I am stomping on it, you really do not feel that thing shift. So SLT, you'll notice the overall look is pretty similar to the other one, where you have the chrome bumper, chrome accents in the grille. This one does have the same wheel option, but you can get a couple different ones. You can see where I was saying earlier, that 6.2 is going to be in red in there. I guess it is on the other truck behind me, but you do get your work lights that are in the front of the mirror. So if you're working on something at night and need a little bit more light up front, you can turn those on. Nice chrome running board. And then you can see that box is quite a bit larger. This one also does have the spray and liner right from factory. That is an option on SLTs. You'll notice you do still get the plug-in and of course the lights. This one is also equipped with the driver alert package in the system, so you do get your side blind zone in the front mirror, versus if we jump over here to this other SLT, if you do not have the side blind zone, you do get this mirror here to kind of help with that as well. This one is also equipped with lane keep assist, so you will actually see, if you look behind the mirror there is a camera that once you're going over 40 miles an hour, it does activate that system. It watches the lanes of the road, and if you start drifting out of your lane, it will actually put a nudge into the steering wheel to kind of help keep you there. Really nice leather interior with that wood grain accents. You will see still has the heated seats and HVAC, underneath or back storage, power sliding rear window. All of the cabin lights are LEDs, so a lot brighter, using a lot less power, and probably most important to you guys is they will last a lot longer. They're going to come with memory seat functionality, so since these are keyless entry, keyless ignition, you can just press that button on the door handle to lock and unlock and get in. As well as if you have key fob 1, well, what do you know? You can actually have it set so it'll automatically move to driver 1 position, and if you have key fob 2, you can set it so it'll go to spot 2. You can then also turn on so you can actually set where you want it to, the seat to move when it shuts off, so it's easier to get in and out. Right inside the door here, you do have your mode select. So in SLT, that's really going to just be your, your standard touring mode, and then your trailer option. You do have auto 4-wheel drive, and you can see here they are push buttons now for 4 high, 4 low, and 2 high. Here's going to be all your light control. So you have your bed lights, which will turn on those lights in the bed, as well as the one of the third brake light up top. You do have this one right here is another one that's added, that is going to be that work light that's on the front of these mirrors here. Another nice thing is you do have auto headlights, the IntelliLink headlights, or IntelliBeam headlights, excuse me. So you do not have to worry about dimming your lights to oncoming traffic. It will automatically sense when there's a vehicle coming and do that for you. Okay, and now that we started it up, you will see that in the SLT we do have, we'll turn that vent down so we don't have wind blowing. You'll have heated both the whole seat and the back of the seat, and you do also have cooled seats in this. You will see that is both on driver and passenger side, and you can control the temperature separately between driver and passenger. You'll notice across the bottom here we have, your lane keep assist. your park sensors. This is your auto start-stop function, so your vehicle will turn off at a stoplight for up to 2 minutes in the right conditions to help conserve in-town fuel economy. However, if you do not like that, or you're towing and you don't want that extra split second or that, to turn on and off, you can disable that if you want. To drop the tailgate, you can do that from in the cab now. So if you're dropping and just having some people at Menards load you up or something like that, you can simply hit that and it'll drop the tailgate. Of course, everyone knows the hazard icon, your traction control, and then your power inverter for both the one in the box, and you'll see there is your outlet right there too. In this one, it does also have a nice feature where you can tap that and it will roll down all the windows for you. So if it's a really hot day, you can quick tap that and drop it. You will also see you have wireless charging in these, and then once again, all of your USB controls. Your trailer brake controller has now moved over to the right-hand side, and you will see it is the newest version of the IntelliLink system. So you do actually have user profiles now, so you can program your favorites, and you can move those from any vehicle you'd like. As long as it has the new system. So if I jump over to a Terrain or Acadia, I can certainly go ahead and do that for you. Jumping here, you can see you do have navigation built in, as well as it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto you can plug in as well. So your phone, if you don't want to go off of the navigation here, simply plug in your phone and you can project that map there. But I'll go into more detail about the technology here in a later time. There's also a really nice feature about the trailering app and different things like that if you're going to be trailering a lot, especially if you're getting the max trailering, which does have that different rear end gear ratio to allow you to pull 12,000 pounds. So that's pretty crazy to do in a 1500. Other than that, I think this video is getting long enough as it is, so with that, I will call it a wrap on this one. But keep in touch. We will have a couple more videos coming next week. I plan on doing the AT4. Following that will be the Denali. Then, depending on if we get any more heavy duties, that I know we've been kind of we sold out all the ones we've gotten so far. If I have one available, I'll do a highlight of that. If not, that's where we will kind of jump into more of the tech features of this new IntelliLink system and some of the safety features. So as always, if you guys have any questions or any comments about the video, feel free to leave those below. If you have any suggestions of things you'd like me to cover more in depth, also let me know that as well. I will, as I have an opportunity, I will certainly do that for you. But as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And we look forward to meeting you here and going for a test drive.